Hi, welcome. I'm Terri Meyer. Thank you for joining me today. This is episode 18, and the subject is going to be a woodlands painting. So I invite you to join me at the easel so we can get started in the step-by-step process. So I've set up the easel. Now I'm using the viewfinder to establish the composition. There's just a lot of trees, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the big trees and then just add randomly the smaller ones. Trying to establish a light source is very challenging right now because the clouds come in and out, and so it's constantly changing. So I'm just going to forgo that thumbnail sketch, value sketch, and go directly into the drawing. So let's get started on the drawing. I'm going to go ahead and put in some trees coming up here, which I see to my left. A little larger one right here. Now this bank slopes down right here. A little bit of foliage coming up, and then there's another tree over here with several different trunks coming out of it. And these trees, at the level that I'm looking at, do not have any leaves on them. This tree's got a branch coming out here. Okay, and then there's some other trees in the background here. So I'm just going to put in a lot of vertical lines at this point. And some of these trees are in, like I said, shadow, some are not. There's lots of them. I'm just getting an overall sense. Okay, so I have another massive tree here. So I'm going to make the trunk a little bigger on this one. It's got speckles of light. And I guess the best thing to do here as I'm looking at this is put in the significant trees, and then the little tiny ones I'll just kind of throw in wherever I feel that the movement of the painting requires it. So again, I'm just getting, and I don't want these all spaced equally because then it'll be not very visually interesting, the composition. So, and I get a nice, let's see, a big one back here. Okay, and then I'm going to put in some blue sky in this area here. And I might bring the horizon down just a little lower than what I have it. Okay, and that is all I'm going to do for a quick sketch. Alright, so I'm going to use this blue here and just kind of randomly put in some sky. They're going to be sky holes through the trees. And that's pretty much all I'm going to do. And now I'm going to create a distance. So I'm going to use a purple color. To start with, and then I might add some green. And now I think I'm going to deepen that because it's too much the same color as the sky, and I'm looking at the scene here, and definitely the foliage is a deeper color. So I'm going to go with this purple here. And I'm going to bring this down to my horizon line. Okay, now next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my blending stick. Actually, I'm going to add some gray in here. And this is going to be my representation of greenery from the trees. I find sometimes when you really should have a road map before you start. And so I'm kind of breaking one of my rules right now by just winging it, because I usually have a better idea of what I'm going to be creating. And I feel this is such an overwhelming scene that I just want to go with an impression of what I'm seeing, so it's not going to be an actual representation. And so by putting these colors in, it's taking the fear out of it. It looks like I'm making a hot mess is what looks like I'm doing. And that's okay for right now. So I'm going to put that aside, and let's see, what other color do I want in there? I think I want to add a deeper blue in here. I'm just creating the backdrop. And I'm doing kind of a block in. Okay, now there's a lot of, I'm seeing a lot of kind of a gray pink, some yellows and some green here at the base of the woods. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put the pink in, and I'm going to exaggerate the color with this pink here. And I'm going to put some yellow over here. I'm just going to put a little yellow in here. Your greens in the middle ground and more into the foreground. Okay, so now I'm going to take gray and that's too light. Actually, I need to go a little darker. I have both light and dark trunks of trees in the background here, and I don't know, I think I almost want to use a color for this. And I'm seeing, this is another pink color. It's being hit, there's trunks that are being hit by light back here, and it's too bright. Okay, so that's not going to work. Maybe a cool pink would be better. And I'm seeing warmth though, so maybe what I need, I think it's more of a peach color, I think. So I don't like this at all because it's way too bright. But this kind of represents what I'm seeing, this color here. And so I see that kind of here and there in the background. So I'm just going to put a few of these in over in this direction. And then I see a darker color of this, but I'm not sure. I guess it would be more on the orange side. So yes, that's nice. That's nice. So I'm going to put some of that over here. So I'm just laying in colors that I'm seeing. And then I'm seeing a, it's kind of a lavender blue. There's a trunk right here, kind of in the middle. And that's too dark. Kind of like that, and then it turns into a brown as it goes up. And that's got too much red in it. So I see, so it looks kind of like, yeah, there we go. It looks like that. And then it has, trying to think of the shadow color. It's a deep, I'm going to go with this, I use this really deep purple a lot. And so I see some shadows in there like this, just kind of speckled in the tree. And I'm just kind of experimenting here. I'm getting detailed too fast, but I just want to see if I'm going in the right direction with my colors. And I do like that, so I'm going to go with that color. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to place this, okay, that's this one right here. Again, no, that's the wrong, it's this one here. It's more of an orange color. I like that, and the trunk kind of jags like that. And then I have a, let's see, it's kind of a gray over here. Yes, the trunk's kind of gray, so I'm going to put that over here. It's a pretty substantial trunk. And I'm going to find a gray that's a little deeper in value, if I have it. This is a hard pastel, and I don't really like using that, but I don't have any soft pastels in the color that I'm looking for. And I think that I need to go a little darker. Well, I'm going to go ahead and put this one in. Again, there's a lot of different variations. And I'm going to take that purple and just lay in some darker trunks in the background. And not everything has to be straight. This is help giving the painting some depth. Okay, and let's put something here. And I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more of this gray over here. Overlapping is fine because a lot of trees are overlapping. I'm going to put a bigger tree here, so I'm not going to do too much with that. Okay, now I'm going to take some darker green . Yeah, I'm going to use, I'm not sure yet. That one's got a lot of yellow. This is something I'm going to use as I get closer in. So, let's see what this gray looks like. I'm going to put a little bit of, this is a gray green. And I'm going to kind of speckle some of that in here. And then I'm going to come back this purple. And I'm going to kind of blend the purple in this green color. If you're wondering about the airplane in the background, we live about 2 miles from a small airport, so we get a lot of small aircraft over the house, and a lot of skydivers. They have a skydiving school, so we're always hearing a lot of woohoos coming out of the sky, so it's kind of fun. See people having a good time. And I'm going to put a little bit of that down in here. I'm just kind of scruffing it in, and just putting little shadows of the leaves being reflected on these trees, just kind of randomly. And take my blending stick. And I'm not sure that I'm liking the background yet. And it's too dark. Again, go with that. That's more, this color is more for bringing the foreground to life. So let's see, I'm seeing a lot of brown in here, so I'm gonna and I'm also seeing some of the floor of the woods being highlighted with this beautiful color. And then I'm going to bring some yellow in here. And then I'm going to go back to this Alright. Now I don't want to overwork this. I want it to remain kind of fresh. Now the light is actually coming this way, so I should be putting more of my cast shadows on the left side here like this. I think I'm going to put in some more sky holes here. Bring it down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to get my blending stick, and I'm just going to mess this up a little bit. Kind of soften some of these brush strokes. Again, I'm more working on the backdrop at this moment of this painting. And the foreground here is a lot of this dark green. That's too light. But I think that's almost, yeah, well, we'll go ahead and put this in. I think what I'm going to do is add some orange to this to tone it down. One of the disadvantages of using pastels is if you do not have the right color, it can be challenging to try to get the effect that you're looking for. But the key is if you can get the values right, even if you use the wrong color, the painting's still going to be a success. And I'm just going to take a little bit of this and bring it to the back here, little hints of it. I don't want to put too much in there because it will read wrong. It'll draw your eye to the back. Again, I'm just blending that together so it softens that green color. Well, we're getting a lot of aerial traffic today in the sky. Now I hear a helicopter in the background. All right. So once again, I want to start restating some of these trees. I'm not going to do a whole lot over here because I'm going to put a larger tree. I do like this a lot. This tree is looking pretty good. I have to ground it though because it looks like it's kind of just doesn't have a base to it. So I'm going to put some darker around it. Okay, so I just got a telemarketing call for an interruption, but it was still good for me to take a break and just see what was going on here. Okay, so I need to add some lighter trees in the background. I got too many dark ones. So I'm just going to put them here at random. And then some of the trunks are really getting caught with the light. So I'm just going to put in little sparkles of color. And then, yeah, I'm liking that. And I might do the same thing. Let me see here, some little. I like this soft pink. It's adding a little more life to the painting. But I don't want to put too much in, just little hints of it. It's these lights that are going to really make this take form. And I don't want to get the rhythm like equal distance of the trees. Like when I'm putting this pink in, I don't want it to be here, 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 here. I want the rhythm to vary. Okay, and then I'm going to, there's a color back here that I'm trying to capture. It's not pink, it's more of a yellow, it's a soft yellow. But again, I don't want to use yellow too quickly in this painting. Actually, I'm going to add some to the trees in here. So it's kind of a yellow pink color. Yellow orange color maybe, I don't know. Maybe if I add a little bit of this, I'm going to be able to. There's a lot of grasses and weeds coming up in here. So I'm starting to try to capture some of that. And I see that color back here. So I'm going to put a little bit in there. I don't know what I would do without my blending stick. I mean, that's my style of painting plein air. A lot of other artists, they stroke it to blend it, but I've just never gotten the hang of that. So I've always been one to use a blending stick, and I think it's because of my starting out in oils before I ever did pastels. I'm softening some of this because I don't want it to be too bright. And then I'm putting in the hints of leaves as well. So if you notice my strokes, I'm kind of stroking it like grass. And I'm going to put some shadow on these peach-colored trees. Using a brown. And so I'm laying these brighter colors in, but then I'm softening it. Okay. And let's see here. I think what I'm going to do here is go ahead and lay that. So they had a couple big trees in here. I'm going to go ahead and make this one kind of in the light. And add some of this color to it. And let's see that brown. And then there's a tree trunk next to it. It's a deeper color. It's a wider trunk. And it's got a shadow on this side of it. And let's see here, I got I'm not sure that I'm liking that, but let me go back here and add a little bit of separation between these trees. And since this is on the edge, I do not want to use too bright of a color, otherwise it'll draw the attention to the edge of the painting, and I want to keep the interest more here in the middle of the painting. Okay, so it's coming along. I'm not as scared as I was in the beginning as far as how this is going to turn out. It's actually kind of nice, I think. I'm enjoying the process. I took a short break for lunch, and because I didn't like the way the painting was progressing. So I thought about the painting while I was at lunch, and what I've decided to do is I'm going to do an alcohol wash, and see if I can transform this to make it what I'm more, to make it look more how I envision it, I guess. So I'm taking my just plain rubbing alcohol in a cup, and I'm just going to muck up the whole thing. What this will do is it'll give me a muted background, and then I can lay in the highlights and the I guess the features. I think what happens is I have way too many things going on here, and I need to pare it down. I'm trying to make too many statements. So, with that being said, I'm going to attempt to save this painting. Give this a couple minutes to dry, and then I'm going to go ahead and start the painting again. My camera went dead, so I had to change cameras here, batteries, so I'm back at it again here. Okay, so it was good for me to step back. There's a couple things that I didn't like. I think that the background here is too dark, and so I'm going to add some greens to add some life back into the background, although I don't want it to detract from the foreground. It's just a little too dark for my liking. So I think just adding that gray-green is helping. Soften that background because it was a little harsh. And another thing that I noticed is I need a little deeper color here at my horizon line, so it really solidifies that. And I'm using a deep purple to do that. Actually, you know what? I am going to go with a dark blue. I think that's going to even be better. Right at the base there. And then I'm going to just use my blending stick. And then I'm going to put a few hints of trees. I know it looks kind of patchy right now, but once I get that blended in, I think that's going to really ground this painting. Okay. The first painting that I ever did when I was in high school was a painting of woods by a creek, which was down the street from where I lived. I lived in Ashland, which is where I live now. And I had no idea what I was doing. But that was the first painting that I ever sold. It was a landscape painting of a wooded area. Okay. So, I guess I've always been drawn to the woods, nature. I love nature. Okay, now, fortunately, this camera that I'm using here, I'm going to move it just slightly because it's hard for me to do my painting. My apologies here. I'm having technical difficulties today, and I can't make the screen any smaller to get the whole painting in. So, I'm going to stop this for Hi, welcome back. I painted till 3:30 yesterday. Was not happy with the results of this painting. It just felt like the light source had changed so much that the lighting didn't do the painting justice. There was no clear light direction. It was just coming from all different directions, and it made the painting look haphazard. So I brought it back to the studio, and I'm going to show you what I changed on the painting. And this is a good, I think, video to show that not every painting is going to be a success. You can salvage it by taking it to the studio, using a reference photo, and getting a better composition and maybe strengthening the lights on it. And that's what I did on this. So I'm going to turn the video around and show you the new painting. So I brought the painting back to the studio, and the thing that I noticed was I had no clear direction of light source, and the composition I thought was not strong enough because I had too many trees that looked like they were equal distance apart. So I varied the trees slightly. I saw that later in the day the light was coming this way, so I decided to change the lighting as a directional lighting, so it really highlights the background and then filtering here to the front. So your focal point is right in here. And if you notice, I've darkened each side, so that brings, again, the focal point, the eye, right here into the middle. And I think that helped a lot on the painting composition, so it allowed me to at least be somewhat satisfied with the end result, whereas before I was very discouraged and almost threw the painting away and wasn't going to even edit this video. But I think this is a good lesson in, first of all, starting with clear direction on your painting. I should have had my light source firmly established, and next time I will do that. I should have did a value sketch knowing where the darks were, so I should have had these darks in, and then the darks in the background, and that would have helped me stay on track. But because I didn't do any of those things, it was more of a challenge, and it wasn't a very successful painting. In the end, I was able to bring it together, but it took me an entire day. And typically, one of these paintings only takes me 1 hour to 2 hours at the most if I go back to the studio and do a little editing on it. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you liked it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for future notifications of videos. Thanks for joining me at the easel, and I'll see you again here probably in another week or so with a new video. Thanks for watching.